Following the conclusion of the 2026 Hajj season, the Association for Hajj and Umrah Operators of Nigeria (AHUON) convened its annual general meeting in Abuja to map out a structural roadmap for upcoming pilgrimage cycles. The two-day event, held at the Nakan Conference Hall, Hajj House, on Wednesday, drew large numbers of association members from across all regions of the country. Presenting the lead paper, Ustaz Abubakar Siddiq Muhammad argued that the existing bottlenecks within Nigeria's pilgrimage sector do not stem from a lack of religious commitment, but rather from structural weaknesses within the operating environment. He emphasized the need for the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria (NACON) to transition from a restrictive commercial competitor into a strict independent regulator, granting private operators the necessary autonomy to drive a world-class pilgrimage ecosystem.
Freedom to choose our Saudi partners is not a favor to be granted or withheld. It is a prerequisite for a functional, competitive Hajj market. The regulatory impulse to centralize and control every commercial relationship in the value chain service serves neither the operators nor the pilgrims. But equally, we as operators must recognize that influence brings responsibility and that we must organize ourselves better to make our participation truly effective. The Saudi model: compare our situation with the direction of travel in the kingdom itself. In November 2025, the Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah abolished the traditional Tawafa organization system, a legacy framework that restricted how operators could engage with service providers, and replaced it with a unified framework of licensed Hajj hospitality companies. Operators there are now directly responsible for selecting and contracting with accommodation, transport, and catering providers, while the ministry supervises standards and intervenes only in cases of non-compliance.
The chairman of the Board of Trustees of AHUON, Ustaz Abdul Fattah Abdul Majid, commended the current leadership. He described the NACON chairman, Barrister Ismail Abba Yusuf, as a proactive leader who has successfully resolved several long-standing challenges in a short period.
That the chairman has been a man of his words. You remember, immediately he came and we discussed about the refund for the last Hajj. He promised next week it will happen. I was looking for it to come up on Friday, not knowing it has come in on Monday. On behalf of the Association of Hajj and Umrah Operators of Nigeria, we thank you for keeping your words. Mr. Chairman, may we request you to convey our appreciation to Mr. President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces for the choice of a career diplomat and a seasoned administrator as the chairman of NACON. We thank Mr. President.
Chairman of the occasion and chairman of NACON, Barrister Ismail Abba Yusuf, was ably represented by the Registrar of the Hajj Institute, Alhaji Ibrahim Jalingo. Delivering the chairman's remarks, Jalingo noted the calm atmosphere currently prevailing within the Umrah industry and assured stakeholders that the Commission will soon embark on comprehensive, mutually beneficial reforms tailored to support AHUON.
He encourages you to continue with the calmness that the industry is witnessing now. The industry is calm, not because NACON is there, but because all of you are there as stakeholders. So we should continue to calm the industry, because that will be in the character of Islam, and that will be in the character of the industry, inshallah.
Adding legislative weight to the discussion, Senator Abubakar Sani Bello, chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, remarked that while every Hajj season presents unique challenges. A cordial relationship between regulators and operators remains paramount.
To emphasize that the collaboration between the regulator and the operator was yet stronger. Hajj and Umrah operation is nothing new. It's been going on year after year, but yet every year comes with its challenge. No matter how prepared you are, no matter how rich you are, when you come to Hajj, there must be some difficulties. However, it is also important that regulators and operators work very hard to ensure that they minimize the level of difficulties for pilgrims. As a legislator, we will continue to look at the acts and to make necessary improvements as time comes by. As a matter of fact, in my own opinion, the time has come to transfer most of the responsibility of Hajj and Umrah to Hajj and Umrah operators, so that NACON will regulate and ensure that they penalize anyone that is found wanting. That is the practice all over the world. Until we get to that level, we will continue to have issues with public participation in Hajj and Umrah operations. Private operators have the capacity, the training, and understanding of this environment. And that's why even you, as members of AGM, from time to time, will have to dedicate some time from your busy schedule to interface with NACON.
He further suggested that NACON consider transferring certain operational powers directly to AHUON to streamline processes. Similarly, the guest of honor, Honorable Jafaru Mohammed, chairman of the House Committee on Pilgrimage, advocated for a total reform of the Nigerian Hajj Institute. He stressed that comprehensive structural updates are vital if Nigeria is to compete globally with international standards of Hajj management.
We commend AHUON's willingness to engage in this reform process. The House Committee to providing legislative oversight and stakeholders engagement to ensure a tour operators regime that credible accountability and focus on pilgrim satisfaction. It's our collective responsibility to reform the system, eliminate sharp practices, and build confidence in private Hajj and Umrah operations. Together, we can make Nigeria a model for effective private sector participation in pilgrimage management.
The two-day event brought together association members from all regions in large numbers, with attendees expressing positive expectations for the future of the Hajj and Umrah industry, an upward trajectory many attributed to focused visionary leadership. In Abuja, Rashida Yahaya, ROTV 24.